Those who cover up or otherwise collude with Russian interference in our democratic system have no place in our government or our democracy. My name's Mike Cashman. Please subscribe to the channel. Britannia waives the rules, but the rules should not be waived for Russian interference in our democracy. I made an earlier video and I referenced evidence of the Russian interference in the Brexit referendum Shadow State, in the book Shadow State, and I did make a point that the extent of Russian interference was not known at the time of the Brexit referendum. Now, I got a lot of reaction to that. A lot of people said, Mike, were you blind? Were you unaware? There was lots of information about it. But when I've asked for evidence of that, none has been forthcoming about awareness of that before 23rd of June 2016. What people do remember is that there was a lot of activity before the general election of 2019, and today I've put a song onto the channel about when we were still waiting for the Russian interference report in 2020. I think people get timings and events mixed up unless they check for the precise evidence. I've done a Google search for Russian interference for news articles that were actually published before June 2016 and found very little. There was some indication of Russian interference in a Dutch referendum where the Dutch were voting on an EU trade deal with Ukraine, but nothing in the newspapers before 23rd of June 2016. Somebody shared an article and said, look, Mike, here it is in Wikipedia, events before 23rd of June 2016, Arron Banks links with Russia, but the Wikipedia article was not published before 23rd of June 2016. Anyway, my point is that we are governed by a government of Conservatives with a number of strong links with Russia. Why did Boris Johnson prevent the publication of the Russian interference report in November 2019, prevent its publication for 9 months until July 2020? So prevented being known at the time of the 2019 general election. And there is evidence of Russian interference in that, as the Intelligence and Security Committee indicates. Why will Liz Truss not answer questions about her being pictured together with other cabinet ministers, Andrea Leadsom, Theresa May at the time, with a Russian close to Putin who provided significant donations to the Tory party? Why is the son of an ex-KGB member given a seat in the House of Lords against the recommendation of the relevant committee? I don't know the full extent of the guilt, the full extent of the dubious donations to the Conservative Party, but I do believe that we need more openness about this. We can see the wicked ambitions of Russia, for anybody who wasn't clear about those at the time. And I found it extraordinary that people were still, only weeks ago, defending Russia, saying, oh, there are troops on the border. No, they don't have any intention to attack. They're just there for defensive reasons. They're worried about the expansion of NATO. They're worried about the threats on Russia. It's nonsense. I'm not saying it is nonsense that there wasn't some concern, but it's nonsense that there was any threat that NATO was going to attack Russia. Or that there's any equivalence in Russia putting troops on its border, supposedly for defensive reasons, supposedly fearing attack from Ukraine. Of course, there was never going to be any such attack. There was never any suggestion or indication or motive or rationale for that. But we now have Russian troops in Ukraine, in Belarus, in Moldova, not present there by the wish of the people in those countries, and we have Russia seeking to interfere in the UK. The people who have covered that up have no part in our democracy. And we know, as a final point, that Johnson, even if he declared that his focus was on preserving freedoms, that when he had the chance of a phone call with Putin, he was distracted and cancelled the phone call because he needed to talk to his backbenchers who were concerned that he was not fit to be Prime Minister. That's the extent of his focus on our priorities. My name's Mike Cashman. The rules should not be waived, but please subscribe to Britannia Waives the Rules satirical YouTube channel. Thank you.